All right, Pops, 2022, we're coming back. We're stronger. We're better than ever.
What is this, Mike and Mike?
Only if you don't buy these 5 cars. These are the 5 cars you need to avoid. Please do not buy in 2022.
Would this be new or pre-owned?
This would be new.
Okay.
Or used.
It could be
Just
both.
don't buy these cars.
Wow.
It's new or used, because you can get some of them new, but you definitely shouldn't get them used.
Okay, so I think it's more used than new.
Ready?
But, yeah.
Next time, don't ask me that question.
Well, I was just testing you out, seeing what you know.
Number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
The Chevy Bolt.
Yes.
Why the heck should you avoid? Why should you avoid the Chevy Bolt?
Well, first of all,
You can't get near it.
you can't get near it. I mean, who wants to buy a vehicle that you have to social distance it? I don't think Chevy's gotten the software updates for it yet.
No, they've discontinued new production for it. The used ones are up year over year. They've appreciated 42% on a vehicle that you can't park at the BWI, Baltimore Washington International parking garage, because they literally have a sign
That says, hey, you got a Bolt, you go elsewhere. No parking for these electric vehicles here.
Avoid the Bolt like the plague, honestly.
Well, and the sad reality is it turns out that statistically speaking, hybrids have more of a fire hazard than electric vehicles do. But this particular electric vehicle apparently has more of a fire hazard than most.
And Pops, GM's discontinuing the thing. They don't talk about it at all in their future plans.
No.
Dealerships don't want to sell them because they can't sell. They charge really slow. Avoid the Bolt. And again, appreciated 42%. That's insane.
Which means as a used car, you're really going to overpay for something that's probably soon to be discontinued.
Now, another vehicle that you should avoid in 2022, because it has also appreciated, honestly, through the moon. Through the roof, to the moon.
Forget it. You're like Yogi Berra, yogiisms.
Yeah. The Mitsubishi Mirage.
Yes. The car is a mirage to begin with, okay? Because people look at it and they say to themselves, transportation and comfort. Okay, you can stop at transportation. But the point is, as a new car, it is one of the most affordable entry-level cars that you can look at today.
New ones, 14.6
Yeah.
plus destination.
Now the problem is that as used cars, they've appreciated over 50% in value. And
in the past year.
And so as a pre-owned car, you're paying way over what the original MSRP was for the vehicle, and the car was barely worth what the MSRP was when it was brand new. It's not a really comfortable car. Right. It's not necessarily the safest car, but it is an entry-level form of transportation that we need in this country. But as pre-owned cars, at the rate that they're appreciating over the past year, they just become relatively unaffordable for what they are.
Another vehicle that has appreciated even more than the Mirage, even more than subcompact cars, would be vans.
Yes.
Minivans are up about 33%, I think, year over year. Full-size vans, your bigger vans, your cargo vans.
Yeah.
The Ford Transit.
Yeah.
Avoid the Ford Transit in 2022.
That's the Bitcoin of full-size vans.
It has appreciated 55% year over year.
Yes.
Unless you absolutely have to buy a Ford Transit this year, avoid one. It's just, there's no way that its long-term value actually reflects its current price.
Well, truth be told, there's no way that the long-term value reflects the current price of just about any used car out there at the moment. But Pops, these 5 are egregious.
The Ford Transit's base MSRP, $35,000. Yeah. You go search on joinya.com for a Ford Transit van, you're not going to find many for under $50,000.
Well, there you have it.
That doesn't make sense.
No. I remember my first house was about $50,000. Yeah. Yeah, the problem with it was it didn't have wheels.
All right, the 4th one on the list, Pops,
yes,
we've got on here the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yes.
Why do we got the Hyundai Santa Fe? I guess it appreciated a lot as well.
Yeah, appreciated almost 50% in the
48%,
last year.
48%, yep.
And so you're just overpaying for a relatively fine SUV.
All right, now the 5th place.
Yes.
Whoops, I said place, and I meant it. The 5th place that you shouldn't buy a car from.
Well, it might be the first place.
The first place you shouldn't buy a car from. Well, that would be a tie, actually, I think. I'd tie Vroom and Carvana on where you shouldn't buy a car from in 2022. We've got a class action. I was going to say we've got multiple.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, Vroom, at the time of filming this, does not have a class action lawsuit against them. But Carvana, our friends at Carvana, they do.
Yes.
do your best to avoid the online car dealerships. You are in a position where you can negotiate again with traditional car dealerships. CarMax is A-okay. You're paying a premium there, but that's fine. Carvana has been a lot of bad news so far in 2022, and it's worth kind of treading carefully.
The problem with your online retailers like that is, especially in today's world where there's edgier and edgier used cars that are being sold at the auction and then being offered to the public, is that they don't allow you to do a pre-purchase inspection. What they will allow you to do is drive the car for a week and determine whether or not you want to keep it. Okay, but meanwhile, a transaction has been completed and you have to unwind that whole thing. And I don't know how quickly they can or can't or will or won't unwind one of those things. So it's, used car, it's used. You wouldn't buy a brand new pair of shoes without trying it on to make sure it's comfortable. You shouldn't buy a used car without driving it first before you agree to sign all the documents. And in today's world, you should never buy any used car without getting a pre-purchase inspection done prior to completing the paperwork. So just for those reasons alone, you should avoid Carvana, anything from Carvana or anything from Vroom, until they come up with a better way for people to be able to get a pre-purchase inspection done.
Love the way that sounds. 4 cars to avoid in 2021. We got you in here because it said 5, but there's the 5th place.
Yeah.
The first place, but the 5th one on the...
Yeah.
Just don't, like you said.
It's my itchy cold feet.